After a successful season that took them from Wilco to Hawaii, the Brentwood High School Color Guard is transitioning into their Winter Guard season by practicing for the new show.
We have to figure out how many people we have, what equipment they're going to be on when, what works with what part of the music, and we have to figure out where to stage them all. And then we just have to write it and clean it and make it good.
Before practice, members work on rifle and flag work that are both important parts of the show.
So our show is called Paint It Black. So the whole thing is we're going to have a lot of color at the very beginning, and then gradually it's going to turn completely black, and by the end the whole floor is going to be black. All of the girls are going to be in black, and we're going to have a door that's red and it's going to be black. And so color is the thing that vanishes.
Players continue to practice every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday, the show that will be performed in April. This is Audrey Green, WBHS 9.
With the 2016 boys basketball season just around the corner, Coach Steve Patterson of the freshman basketball team is doing everything he can do to get his team ready to have a winning season.
First of all, we're excited about the upcoming season. We've been practicing for several weeks now, and really, in freshman basketball, it's really hard to determine how the season's going to go, because every year, it's a one-year deal, and so we don't. Until we play everyone, we will not know how good our competition is. But I think with the guys that we've got here at Brentwood High School in the freshman class, that we should be very competitive.
Last year, Coach Steve Patterson had extreme success with his team. This year, he hopes to do the same.
They had a lot of success at the middle school level. We were very athletic and we were very deep. This year's team is a little bit different, probably not as deep, probably not as athletic, but man, they work hard and they seem to play well together. So it's really it's a different combination, but it's a good combination.
Jacob Blanton, WBHS 9.
Ravenwood is one of our biggest rivals at BHS. We interviewed the girls' varsity basketball coach for more about the upcoming game.
There's not a current win streak, but the overall record for the history of the Brentwood-Ravenwood rival is Brentwood 27 wins to 4 losses. Well, I think it has to do with Ravenwood's existence is because Brentwood High School was overcrowded, and they built Ravenwood, and at the time when it first came online, it was not the biggest rival. It was still the Brentwood-Franklin rival. But as the rivalry intensified on Ravenwood's end, it became our biggest rival. You really don't have to motivate us when we play Ravenwood because of the rivalry. It's just one of those rich, healthy high school rivals. I would say that our strength this year is our depth and our ability to make basketball plays. One of the areas that we're working feverishly on to improve is our ability to take care of the basketball and limit our turnovers. This team practices and plays with great energy and physicality. Well, again, the balance in scoring is one of our strengths. We look for Abby Sheely and Olivia Rawls to help us with a little inside-out offensive punch. Izzy Franco is a great addition with guard play, and if we can get a combination of the other players to chip in 12 to 18 points collectively, then we're going to push the offensive side up to around 50 plus points, and we're a handful when we get to that offensively.
Come to the BHS basketball game Friday, December 9th at Brentwood. Leah Levine, WBHS 9 News.
Brentwood High School's Program and Logic 1 class has been experimenting with Lego Robotics for the past 2 weeks. Over the period of time, the students have built their own robots. The teacher of the class has more to say on the matter.
With the Lego Mindstorms EV3s, basically what we're getting is a construction set of Legos. But we're actually creating the hardware that's necessary to carry out a program that our students actually create. And there's basically small computers that connect to sensors and motors and things of that nature that allow a program to be implemented through the creations that they make.
He believes that the robots are both fun and beneficial to the class.
It's a great learning opportunity to develop algorithms and learn to think through little processes, to think through what kind of information do I need to take in, how do I need to transform that data, and how can I put that into functional output. So we're learning a lot about problem solving and critical thinking, but we're having a little bit of fun too.
Connor Brown, WBHS 9 News.
In the heart of Music City, people are changing the industry and the way we listen to music. We talked to Vice President of A&R at Warner Music Nashville, Steve Robertson, about his role in the music industry.
My responsibility is to find new artists that I think have commercial viability, that we can sell records and t-shirts.
Steve moved to Nashville just over a year ago to even further his career and tells us it's the best decision he's ever made.
I found new artists since I've only been here a year and a half. And I've found new artists that I'm working with, and I have a much greater network of producers and writers and that I know on a first name basis.
We asked Steve what it takes to be a true artist and what makes a great one stand out from all the rest.
I tell people it's in popular music. I do rock bands and pop singers and alternative rock, and there's got to be a great identifiable voice. It's why Adele is Adele. It's why Paramore is Paramore. Hayley Williams is one of the great pop singers ever. And so that's why people remember the artist, and that's why they remember to buy the record or stream the record. Or so that's what I'm looking for.
Chloe Robertson, WBHS 9 News. Coach Barbara Campbell has coached for the Brentwood High School girls volleyball team for more than 20 years now, winning 12 state championships, and is currently on her 4-year winning streak. WBHS News got the privilege to talk with her about her past accomplishments and future goals.
I'm blessed. It's Brentwood High, and I get some of the best players and young ladies in the program, and I'm blessed. They're committed, they're dedicated, they do the extra to be the best they can be, and it's just a winning tradition is contagious, so that pays off for me.
Not only has she been able to take home 12 state championships, but she has been able to produce some of the best players, including Logan Eggleston, who has had the privilege to play for the United States Junior Olympic team this past year.
Already looking at what our team's going to look like next season, and I know that we have some strong returning players. I have my setter coming back, Tori Carpenter. We have Garrett Joyner, 6'3" outside hitter. We have Logan Eggleston, 6'2" outside hitter. Celia Lamb, Andrea Aceveda, Sydney Rexford, Aubrey Jancy.
Natalie Orsborn, WBHS News.
In the heart of Nashville is a small area called Hillsborough Village, full of stores and restaurants. Within the stores, there's an old vintage bookstore, Bookman, Bookwoman, that is going out of business. This store has been a part of the village since the beginning and has been around for over 20 years. It has a lot of sentimental value to this area of the city and is voted one of the best bookstores in the Nashville area.
A lot of people aren't going to have somewhere quite as close to get their used or cheaper books. There are other places in the area, but a lot of people are mourning the loss because it was in the heart of the neighborhood. 21 years ago started on that side of the street as just Bookman books, then very quickly ran out of space. So they had to move over here, take up 2 storefronts, and became Bookman, Bookwoman for the husband and wife owner, because the wife became more involved, is the way I was always told. Rent's going up, the neighborhood's getting a little too rich, a lot of new money coming to Nashville these days. I don't know all the details.
Oliver Long, WBHS 9 News.
This is Finn Jackson from WBHS 9. Today we're here to check out the freshman basketball team of Brentwood High School. The freshman basketball team is kicking off their season with a game Thursday, December 1st against Nolensville. The practices have been going strong. Here is Coach Patterson explaining how the season is going so far, as well as how coaching freshmen has been despite coaching at higher levels.
Well, the team so far is doing a great job. We started practice a few weeks ago, and it seems like all the guys are working hard, and seems like things are coming together, and just a really good group of guys. And it's been fun teaching and trying to get everybody on the same page, but everything's going well.
The players have been working hard. Here's star player Zaire Howard on how the Nolensville game will go this Thursday.
We're very prepared, we're going to win 100-0. This is a new school. They don't even have a varsity team. Watch me drop 30 on these fools. I'm going to get a triple-double.
This is Finn Jackson with WBHS 9 News.
With the baseball team's off-season workouts already underway, I caught up with Connor Smith to learn more. I asked him what a normal practice looks like.
Well, first, we go to the field, we stretch, then we throw, then we do some running, and then we head to the weight room.
I also asked him when the team practices and how often.
Usually, it's Monday through Thursday during the off-season, but once the season comes around, we start doing Monday through Friday.
I also asked him how he prepares for a game.
First, I run a couple pulls. Then, I stretch for a very long time. Then, I throw with my catcher. And then, I make sure I'm hydrated.
I was also able to ask him what he thinks his team's chances are this year.
I think we have the players to make a good run in the district, region, and hopefully the state. I think we have the coaches and the players that will get it done.
Ethan Pope, WBHS 9.
We started the cookie store many years ago, back I think as far as 2005. We've had some of the other high schools in the county come and visit our program to see how we started it, but I'm not sure if they have actually gone back and begun this in their schools or not. Students make the cookies, students in the employment skills class, as well as school-based enterprise students. We have about 7 flavors, I believe: chocolate chip, brownie, s'mores, sugar, snickerdoodle, oatmeal raisin, and peanut butter. Well, the proceeds go back toward funding the program itself, the supplies that are needed to make the cookies, the parchment paper, the health regulatory items such as the gloves and masks when needed. There's really not a lot of profit to be made. It's more or less intended to just keep the program going so that students can gain the employment skills that they're gaining while working in here. We have several adults that act as the supervisors that keep the students on task and teach them how to adjust to a different work schedule each day. So students are learning a variety of work skills as they work here.
And this is Jack Steinkamp, WBHS 9.
We have to come to work at 6 o'clock. We have to have breakfast ready for 7. Usually takes about 45 minutes to prep. Everything's ready to go by 7. Breaks for 15 minutes.
Usually for...
At Brentwood High School, the lunch workers have to cook food for 200 students at lunch. Then they clean up and finish at 1 o'clock, then go and do their second jobs.
Roughly full meals, we do about 15 students, 2 adults, and then a la carte wise, we do about 15 to 20 kids. We have salads, we have ham and turkey sandwiches, we have usually 3 entrees on the hotline, so if one does have soy or nut allergies in it, the other one provides no allergy. So we do have other options. We receive it for the entire week. Everything's frozen. The meat's fresh, in the sense of for the meatloaf, everything else is frozen.
Andrew Guiley, WBHS 9.
The basketball season has officially started for the Brentwood Bruins. Last year they had an early exit to the hands of the Franklin Rebels. This year, they're looking to show everyone that they have what it takes to make it back to the state tournament. We had the opportunity to interview Coach Shirley on the upcoming season. With last year's early exit, what is your approach to this year's season?
Well, first of all, we had a great summer. Went 19-5, went 4-0 in the preseason, 6-1 now. The players are completely balled in, committed. Bruin basketball is going to be very exciting this year.
Awesome. Who are the key players on this team that could really shine this year?
That's the great thing about this team. It is a team. You have great senior leadership. Kellen King and Reed Smith. Then you also have Jacob Gossett, Christian LaBrush, and Daryl Jackson. So you have 5 seniors doing a great job. David Winley as a junior is doing a great job running the team at the point guard position. Jack Thurman's had a great year, and Harry Lackey is also doing a great job as a freshman on the team. So it's a team, we're a team, and that's why we're going to be so successful.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Jackson Bell, WBHS 9.
While walking around the school lately, we've noticed some doors that were decorated by an organization called DECA. We were intrigued, so we wanted to find out more about DECA and what they did.
To me, DECA is a collection of marketing students where we practice and we learn new marketing skills and we learn new real-life scenarios and we work on that and we try to advance our future in the business career.
Connor was also talking very positively about DECA and the impact it's had on his career at Brentwood.
This is my 3rd year doing DECA. I'm the vice president, so it's given me a whole lot more room to work with. It's given me leadership positions. It's advanced my public speaking. It's advanced my that's kind of ironic. I said advanced my public speaking.
After speaking with Connor for a while and getting to know more about DECA, we asked if he would recommend DECA to anybody in the school.
Absolutely, I would recommend DECA to everyone. It allows you to meet new people, get new experiences, and help you out in the business world. So yeah.
Matthew Batts, WBHS 9 News.
Hello, Brentwood High School. I am Michael Barber, and I'm here today with Mrs. Harris, a special ed teacher and a teacher sponsor of the Best Buddies group. Mrs. Harris, what is Best Buddies and what is the main purpose of the group?
Best Buddies is a program that pairs people with intellectual and developmental disabilities with people without disabilities to build lifelong friendships.
What are the activities that you do in Best Buddies?
Best Buddies does a wide variety of activities. Really, once you get a buddy pair or buddy group, it can be anything that you like to do and that your friends like to do. We spend a lot of time trying to pair people that have the same kind of interests.
When does the group meet at Brentwood High School?
Meetings are typically on Wednesday afternoons about once a month. They'll send out emails and text reminders about meetings. It's not too regular because there's not a whole lot to discuss as a whole group.
How can one join Best Buddies?
Anybody that wants to join Best Buddies can come and see me in AA.
Well, thank you, Mrs. Harris.
Thank you.
Michael Barber, WBHS 9 News.
Every day, veterans are risking their lives to save our country and to protect us while leaving their families and loved ones behind, not knowing if they'll return or not. Here is a retired veteran with us today to share his story while serving as a veteran.
I served in the United States Army from 1984 to 1997. I was in Desert Shield, Desert Storm.
After serving, some veterans may have anger or irritability issues. All veterans have some form of PTSD because of the stress and worry they have to go through.
When I got out of the military, everybody has to have a military physical. When I got out, they realized that I got PTSD.
Sometimes it may be difficult to sleep after retiring from the Air Force.
Ever since the war, I've always had a difficult time sleeping. I've been on sleeping medicine probably since I was 21 because of the war.
After serving, some veterans may have anger or irritability issues.
Yes, it's gotten easier because I've sought counseling, got counseling since I've been out of the military. and also the main reason is Jesus. I always try to keep myself very busy, and that's one reason I work at the children's home.
Hi, my name is Barbara Patrick.
What made you want to be a teacher?
Well, I worked as a camp counselor for children, and then I nannied for a family, and the youngest child started school while I was nannying for him, and he loved it. And I thought it would be really fun to work with kids and make them love school as well.
Your funniest teaching moments?
Well, when I first started teaching, I taught elementary school. And I had a student that after lunch offered me a snack. And, it's when you're first teaching and you're trying to be nice and it's little children. And I was like, oh, sure, I'd love to share your snack. And she pulled a half-eaten pickle out of her pocket of her jeans that she'd been saving since lunch. Then when I moved to the middle school, I had this student who in the afternoons, like when I had all my water, I would send him down to the cafeteria to refill my water bottle. And he would only fill it up halfway. And it happened for several days, and I finally said, if you filled it up all the way, you wouldn't have to go back and forth. And he said, but I get thirsty on the walk back, and I realized he'd been drinking my water the entire time. So those were both pretty good memorable moments. And then I had some former students come interview me for their broadcasting class, and after the second take, they realized the microphone wasn't on. We had to do the whole thing over again. That was a pretty good one, too.
What made you want to be a teacher?
Well, I worked as a camp counselor for children, and then I nannied for a family, and the youngest child started school while I was nannying for him, and he loved it. And I thought it would be really fun to work with kids and make them love school as well.
Brennan, Chapman, WBHS 9 News.
HAM. What are your experiences with Justin and Coleman?
Justin's a pretty good guy. I've known him for a long time. He smells bad. And Coleman, he's pretty funny. He's cool. I love him.
Have you been bowling?
I've been bowling for 2 years now.
What are your thoughts on Luke and Coleman?
Well, Luke's a lefty, so he doesn't count. Coleman has a problem. He's always using my balls, and he's a freshman.
And how long have you been bowling?
3 years.
And all around, what is your experiences with Justin and Luke?
It's been quite interesting. Most of the time I've seen Justin fall down multiple times and foul multiple times. And I've seen Luke just completely scream at the top of his lungs multiple times. But all in all, I think it's pretty attractive.
Go. Camden Bryant, WBHS 9 News.
Agriculture's been a huge part of society ever since we can remember. It gives us the food and nutrients we need to survive. A man in Baxley, Georgia, describes the everyday life of a farmer and why he does it.
My name's Roger Lightsey. I'm retired from a utilities company, and around the house I mostly garden and keep the grass mowed and yards clean and fish once in a while or hunt. There's no gardening going on then. It's leaves falling, keeping the leaves raked up or taken care of. The animals, the fish don't move as much in the winter. I feed them, but they don't eat as much. And the other animals, I only have ducks, and they eat regularly. And in fact, in the winter, they start laying their eggs.
Granley Johnson, WBHS 9 News.